Alright, folks, Virginia's Idiot, we are back. Like Triple Case on Facebook. Let's head on to chapter number 3. Ace, on investigation into the town's activity in Concordia led straight to a murder. Ace, you must come quickly. Yep. Oh, brother. Alright, let's save. Stay away from me and Daisy. Go on now, shoo. But Miss Gall, I was only trying to help. Charles, what is going on here? I just wanted to show Miss Gauls how to milk a cow more efficiently. I brought my genius cow milking machine with me, but she... I don't need your help. Now shoot before I shoot. Fine. But I'll have you know that this is one of the greatest inventions ever created. You're missing out. Well, that is quite enough. Please, hand over that shotgun and return inside. Charles, to try and confine yourself to the airship until we have concluded our investigation. Now, let's solve this murder before yet another mishap occurs. You wish to return to the general store? Well, let's do so at once. Oh, Charles, you mean well. Goodness, Ace, I don't know what that receptacle contained, but whatever it is, some of it is spilled out. We must vacuum up the sample. And you needed to not check reflections in the mirror, Ace. You look dashing as always. Thank you. Oh, I see. The mirror is engraved with the name Gauls. I imagine it must be an heirloom of sorts, but how did it end up here? Collecting a sample of that pink liquid might enlighten us. As for those broken pieces of wood, I'm certain you shall piece them together in a heartbeat. Whoever thought they could get away with murder clearly wasn't familiar with the expression, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Ace. You'll have them behind bars in no time. Yeah, that's right. Daisy does look like it was Harriet's cow. Yeah, and DuPont was a little kind of crazy. Ace, let's place that pink liquid you collect from a victim's mirror under the microscope post haste. Yeah, we'll see how many stars we can get through here before we have to go grab some more. I am most certain Viola shall be able to tell us what the ashes you collect from that vase are. Ace, we must send them to her at once. I agree. This looks like a sorry something. Oh, temporarily closed. Well, this wooden sign reads, sorry, we are temporarily closed. But look at that note attached. It says, and you can thank that no good Benjamin. So Miss Spencer was forced to temporarily close her store because of our victim. We must ask her about this. Ah, he wasn't giving her produce. The plot thickens. Well, this pink liquid from the mirror comprises pink lemonade, cranberry juice, and copious amounts of sugar, all of which make a drink known as Pink Paradise. Pink Paradise? Why does that sound familiar, Ace? Oh, you're right. We encountered Mr. Costa drinking this beverage at the Moulin Rose. But what was Mr. Costa doing with our victim's affairs? Let us ask him. Ah, interesting. Miss Spencer, when we spoke to you, you had only good things to say about our victim, but this sign paints a very different picture. You had to close the store because of him. Ah, you found that. I don't see why I should hide it. The store ain't doing so good, and it's all Benjamin's fault. I had a hole in the storeroom roof about a month back. Benjamin said he'd fix it in exchange for a few shillings. Mentioned something about needing to pay a cowboy. Anyhow, knowing that he was strapped for cash, I took him up on the offer. Benjamin did a shoddy job, and a week later the roof caved in. My produce was ruined. There's barely any wheat left for me to chew. Well, it's an unfortunate predicament, Miss Spencer, but if you kill Mr. Gulls because he threatened your livelihood, Ginger Bray shall find out. I shall. Mr. Costa would like to explain what you're doing with Mr. Gall's belongings. Maledizione. You police keep accosting me with questions, when I'm just buying milk, like a nice legal citizen. But if you must know, Mr. Gall's giving that mirror as a gift, for being a good neighbor. Well, that's interesting, since last time we spoke you denied knowing him. Well, I didn't know him well, but he was very generous with his belongings. A likely story. I'd wager that you were pilfering them. If you kill Mr. Gall for catching you in the act, your race will find out. No, you've got it all wrong. Me, I'm an honest Italiano. I'm no killer. Yeah, there's nothing fishy about that. Anyways, guys, I gotta grab some stars. I'll be right back. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Au revoir. Alright, folks, Pitching Ace 88, we are back. Grabbed all the stars that we need to finish this off. Ace, we just have samples of such a nature. It would be pertinent to warn me in advance. My dear Viola, if we knew what the substance from the vase was, we shouldn't have needed to send it to you in the first place. Besides, what could have possibly disturbed you so? Well, the substance you sent me was made up of pulverized bone fragments, the kind produced by cremation. Oh, cremation? You mean to say those are ashes were once a person? Precisely. Now, the condition of the ashes suggests that this person has been deceased for several months. I was skeptical as to whether I would be able to identify to whom they belonged, but I chanced upon a tooth fragment, and I can tell you that these are the ashes of Lucrezia Capecci. Lucrezia Capecci? Ace, what in heaven's name were Lucrezia's ashes doing on the floor of the general store? We must speak with their sister Giulietta at once. That seems a little weird. Miss Capecci, let us broach a rather delicate subject with you. We found the remains of your sister Lucrezia. Oh, thank you so much, Ginger Brace. I wanted to get back to the store with my colleague and get them myself, but I was too afraid. Afraid of what? Of Benjamin. He's the reason I dropped Lucrezia's ashes. But you told us you had gotten well with him since your childhood. Well, yes, back then things were fine. Lucrezia and I would drop by all the time to drink fresh milk by the pint. And now, after everything, I went to the farm to spread Lucrezia's ashes so she could finally be at peace. But Benjamin had changed completely. He came out brandishing a shotgun. He said Italians weren't welcome on his land anymore. I almost choked on the weed I was chewing, and as I ran to the general store for cover, I dropped Lucrezia's ashes. I'm glad Benjamin's dead, Senior Brace. He deserved everything he got. We understand your anger, Miss Capecci. Let's just hope that did not get the better of you. She keeps dodging a lot of this stuff. From all we've learned, Benjamin Gall does not appear to have been a malicious fellow, but he certainly had more than a few enemies. He drew the store to his ire by botching her roof repairs. Mr. Costa was potentially pilfering his belongings, and the victim chased Giulietta off his land with a shotgun, causing her to drop her sister's ashes. This is all such a muddle, Ace. You're right. If we wish to solve this gruesome murder, we must head back to the scene of the crime. Yeah, Catherine Wolf. Hope Catherine Wolf makes it through, but we never know. Pitchfork. By Jove, look at this pitchfork. It's covered with blood, and it matches the shape of a victim's wounds perfectly. I do believe you just found a murder weapon, Ace. The blood on the prongs undoubtedly comes from a victim, but let's sample that blood off the handle. With any luck, it could be our killer. But I'm not sure what you want with that damaged toolbox. Sure deduction, Ace. Richard did mention that a victim was involved in a struggle with the killer prior to his demise. His toolbox must have been damaged during the fight. That means it merits searching through the tools. We are but a few steps behind our killer, Ace. I can feel it. Got an itch. It's to solve this murder. Why? What in heaven's name was that dog collar doing in the toolbox, Ace? You're right. We know that our killer is in possession of a collie, and that the poor animal is present during the murder. Perhaps the victim tore the collar off the dog during the altercation. You must send this dog collar to Viola at once. If fate is smiling upon us, it may tell us more about our killer. Yep, hopefully it does. Make haste. Ace must send this blood from the murder weapon to Viola. Post haste. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Ace, I can almost certainly confirm that this collar you sent me belongs to a collie. I found traces of collie fur on it. So our hunch is right. The collar did belong to the killer's collie. Surely there was more to be found on the collar, Viola. I was only just getting started, Isaac. You see, the collar also traces of felted beaver fur, which is used in the confection of cowboy hats. Ace, your killer must have their dog's collar after adjusting their hat, which lets us know that they wear one. So our killer wears a cowboy hat. It'll be hats off to you once you've caught them, Ace. Looks like it's going to be Westwood. Ace, this country air is doing me a world of good. I can already feel my complexion beginning to glow. I wish I shared your enthusiasm, Viola. However, I prefer the city myself. Just the thought of accidentally running my shoes by stepping in the cow pie sends my blood pressure through the roof. Speaking of blood, I have information regarding the sample you collected from the handle of the murder weapon. I identified the blood type as A negative. But according to Richard, your victim's blood type was O positive, which means the blood on the pitchfork handle was your killer's. Unless A negative killers shan't be feeling positive once you got them in handcuffs, Ace. We're closing in on them. You've amassed all the evidence required to arrest Benjamin Gall's killer, Ace. Let us proceed. I think it's Westwood. He seemed like he was a little pissed off too, so that doesn't make sense. Could be Vinny. I'm gonna guess it's him. It's Vinny. Holy cow. Wow. Wow. Mr. Cossey, you were under arrest for the murder of Benjamin Galls. Did you really kill a man just so you could steal his belongings? Stas Charlanzo, I never laid a hand on Mr. Galls, Senator Brace. Well, is that so? Then why was your colleague present during the murder? The dog left traces on the victim's vest. Hey, you leave Maximus out of this. I had nothing to do with this murder, nor did he. Yeah, we found your dog's collar on the crime scene. You have the fibers from your cowboy hat on it. Maledizione. Everybody around here wears such a hat. Give it up, Mr. Coss. We found your blood on the pitchfork you used to stab Mr. Galls through the back. Ah, man, you've got me, Senior Brace. I killed Mr. Galls, but I didn't mean to. It was the gang. They sent me to force him into giving up his land. His land? You mean to say that you killed him because he refused to leave his home behind, giving it up to the Italians? Well, it's better to leave than to die, Senior Brace. That's how things are around here. Tried sending him threats at first to make him understand, but he didn't listen, so I went to rough him up a little bit. You know how it is. But things got out of hand, and he fought back. I threatened him with a pitchfork, thinking he'd back off, but he made a lunge for me, and I ended up impaling him by accident. I never wanted it to come to this, Senior Brace, but I guess this is what happens when you work for the Italian gang. Well, what happens is that you end up in jail, Mr. Costa. You're under arrest. Mr. Costa, you stand accused of killing Mr. Benjamin Galls on behalf of the Italian gang. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. It was an accident. I never killed for the gang before, and I didn't mean to start now. I don't know how it went all so wrong. Take a wild guess and say what went wrong when you tried to threaten an honest man out of his home on the gang's order, Mr. Costa. However, this court shall take into account the fact that the murder was not premeditated. You are hereby sentenced to 10 years in prison. Dio mio, e la Madonna, forgive me. Being in the gang has cost me everything. Ace, I hear that you finally put that miscreant Vinny Costa behind bars for the murder of a farmer of all things. Mr. Galls was no ordinary farmer chief. He stood up to the Italian gang who wished to force him off his land, so Vinny was sent to persuade him. Well, the Italian shenanigans of Concordia proving most troubling. Ace, I can only imagine the amount of paperwork which shall end up on my desk. But regardless, we must establish what the Italians intend to do with all this land they're freeing up and prevent them from evicting anyone else. Yep. That's going to finish off Chapter 3. Stay tuned, guys, because we are going to head on to the additional investigations by Puccini's 8. Over and out.